Hi guys, today I will be discussing and tackling about multicultural diversity, a challenge to global teachers. The performance objectives of this topic is at the end of the session, the students will be able to demonstrate respect and appreciate towards multicultural diversity. Second is to differentiate intercultural or interethnic or intergroup in the classroom, school, and community. Next is to integrate social, political, economic, and educational equity. And lastly, to define multicultural skilled global teachers in the classroom. The content rationale of this topic is which consists of teaching multicultural diversity prepares students to be global citizens by exposing them to people from different cultures and social groups. Also, the major goal of multicultural education is to transform the school so that the male and female students, exceptional learners, as well as students coming from diverse cultural, social class, racial, and ethnic groups will experience an equal opportunity to learn in school. So, in this topic, I have an activity which is called Bring Me a Picture. So in this activity, the students will open the PowerPoint file to play the game. Then in the PowerPoint file, they will play the game by clicking the link at the first part, which called the warm-up game. And it contains the puzzle part that has a picture of an Ifugao tribe on it. After that, they will proceed to the identify the picture part, which will answer a multiple choice game. The students will choose whether it is an Ifugao, Tausug, or Maranao tribe, which the game will run 3 times. Lastly, the students will enlighten their idea what specific topic to be discussed, which is the multicultural diversity on teachers. The analysis. First is how do you feel the activity? Next is what did you learn from this activity? So, the third part is what are your strategies in order to win the game? And finally, what is your idea about the topic that we'll be tackling about? So, in the next part, there are 3 topics that I will be discussing about. First is the diversity of learners in multicultural classrooms. Second is accommodating cultural differences and commonalities. And finally, the understanding multicultural learners by Fraser Abner. So, first topic that I'll be tackling about is diversity of learners in multicultural classrooms. So, it con in this topic it consists 6 phrases that will connect with this topic. So, first phrase is differences among students have placed greater demands to teachers in today's school. So, students may differ in race, which is commonly indicated by the color of the skin. They may belong to different ethnic or religious groups and speak different languages. Next is students are supposed to be given equal opportunities to education. Thus, there is a need for curricular and instructional modifications, teaching styles, re-examination of teachers' attitudes, belief, and perception. So next part is the multicultural education enables teachers and educators to give value to the differences. Says so since in prior knowledge, experiences of learners from diverse background and familiarity with students' histories of diverse cultures. And Next is the inclusion of learners with special needs has also increased diversity in schools, which is true. And next is taking into account the diversity in schools is a major challenge since everyone's heritage is given due respect and differences should be regarded as strengths to build on rather than deficits to be overcome. And finally, culture evolves over time. One of the results of this process is beliefs and practices helps us to helps us adapt to persistent and changing circumstances. So the next topic I will be tackling about is accommodating cultural differences and commonalities. So in this topic it consists a teacher does not have to go abroad to be able to encounter diversity in the classroom. The issue of cultural majority minority in the classroom has posed a challenge to teachers where the girls are more than the boys. The natives are more than those immigrants. The rich are less than the poor and many other divides that greatly influence how the teacher would accommodate differences and commonalities. Then, added to this, the fact sometimes the teachers come from a culture that is different from where the students belong. The teachers themselves are unaware of the cultural norms that exist in a diverse culture, which oftentimes interfere with teaching and learning. Therefore, it is very important for a prospective teacher like you or us to be knowledgeable about differences in culture, religion, ethnicity, and even language of your students. Their values and experience may be entirely different from your own. So, finally, the last part is all about the understanding multicultural learners by Fraser Abner. So, in this topic, it consisted four phrases. So first is never make assumptions about an individual based on your perception of that individual race, ethnicity, culture, or gender, which is not good. Second is learners as much about and become as sensitive to and unaware of racial, ethnic, cultural, and gender groups other than your own. And third is avoid stereotyping in all kinds of aspects that will affect the learner's understanding about the cultural differences and commonalities, which will broke also the diversity of schools and communities. And finally, get to know each student as unique individual. Walk in the footsteps of all your students, which is good since the teachers as the teachers have a great big role in this topic. They are the ones who are shaping the students in order the students will be a good and well-mannered citizens in the future. So today I will be discussing to you the guiding principles of this topic, which connects to the three topics that I discussed before. So the first principle that I will be discussing is first is pre-service teacher education program should help prospect teachers understand the complex characteristics of ethnic groups in race, ethnicity, language, and social class interact. to influence students' behavior. Second is teachers should ensure that all students have equitable opportunities to learn and to perform to a standard. Third is teachers should help students acquire social skills needed to interact effectively with students from other racial, ethnic, cultural, language of social groups. Fourth one is the school curriculum helps students understand that knowledge is socially constructed and are reflective of the social, political, and economic context in which they live and work. And the fifth part is schools should provide all students understand that knowledge, skills, and attitudes that increases academic achievement and foster positive intercultural relationships, which is good. And next part is teachers and students should learn to reduce or eliminate stereotyping and other related biases that have negative effects on racial ethnic relations. And the seventh part is schools should provide opportunities for students from different racial, ethnic, cultural, and language groups to interact socially under conditions designed to reduce fear and anxiety. And the last part is teachers should teach, students should learn, teachers should teach, and students should learn about the values shared virtually by all cultural groups like justice, equality, freedom, peace, compassion, and charity, among others. So, in the conclusion part, or in the ending part, I have a quote that will summarize my facilitation plan, which is this: the diversity becomes an opportunity for teachers and schools to help unify individuals and citizens as a contribution to a democratic and pluralistic country. So, in the application part, me as a facilitator, we give a 10-item true or false quiz at the end of the PowerPoint presentation to assess whether the students have learned the topic or not. So that's all. Thank you for listening to my report and have a good day.